Behind the filters, beyond the photo shoots, and beneath the bold colors lies a name that's been stirring curiosity across the Middle East and beyond. Jourial Ali, a name whispered in online circles, debated in comments, and searched by thousands. Some call her an icon. Others call her controversial. But who is she, really? In this video, we go far beyond the surface. We uncover the rise of a woman who turned the digital spotlight onto herself, not by chance, but by daring choices and unapologetic presence. We'll break down the style, the strategy, the scandals, and the silence. From Morocco to Dubai, from snapshots to headlines, this is the full story of Jourial Ali like you've never seen before. Grab a drink, sit back, and get ready, because this is where curiosity meets clarity. Before the followers, before the headlines, before the storm of attention, there was just a girl. A girl from Morocco, a land of color, contrast, and centuries-old beauty. A place where tradition meets soul, and where women carry generations of grace in their eyes. Her name? Jourial Ali. Her full identity? Still unknown. Her age? Unspoken. But maybe that's exactly what draws us in, that mystery, that aura, that quiet refusal to be labeled or boxed in. She didn't announce her arrival with noise. She let the world find her, drawn in by confidence, by presence, by an energy you can't fake. From the start, Jourial Ali was never just another pretty face. She was a symbol of quiet rebellion, a woman who chose to define herself on her own terms in a world that's always trying to define women for them. Though we don't have childhood photos or interviews from her early years, we see her roots in every frame, in the fierce grace of her poses, in the boldness of her wardrobe, and in the unapologetic way she claims space. She's Moroccan not just by origin, but by spirit, warm, striking, layered in depth and pride. From a life off the grid to being a visual phenomenon across platforms, Jourial Ali's beginning wasn't loud, but it was powerful. And every step since has been a declaration: I am who I choose to be. Like many digital stars, Jourial Ali's story began with a single post, but unlike most, it wasn't a post that begged for attention. It was confident, polished, unapologetically bold. She first appeared on Instagram and Snapchat, the two platforms that would later become her stage, her canvas, and her voice. While others were experimenting with filters and trends, Jourial Ali was already crafting an aesthetic, striking colors, daring fashion choices, confident poses, and a camera-ready presence that felt both artistic and deeply personal. In her early content, she didn't speak much. But she didn't need to. Her visuals spoke louder than any caption, a visual language of bold self-expression, a femininity that didn't ask permission. She showcased makeup looks, glamorous outfits, soft lighting, and signature hairstyles that soon became instantly recognizable. Her confidence wasn't just visual, it was emotional. And that is what drew people in. Slowly but surely, her follower count began to grow, first in Morocco, then in the Gulf region, where audiences were both intrigued and divided. Some admired her fierce individuality, others whispered controversy. But either way, they watched. They followed. They talked. Especially on Snapchat, Jourial Ali found a home. A platform where she could show more unfiltered glimpses of her life, spontaneous videos, behind-the-scenes moments, and raw, intimate interactions. It made her feel real, not just a model or influencer, but a presence. A personality. Someone they could feel close to. She didn't chase virality. She built a community, and with every post, every look, and every moment of vulnerability, she turned followers into loyal fans. From bold still images to personal video snippets, Jourial Ali's digital journey wasn't about luck. It was strategy, style, and soul, and that's how she became one of the most recognizable online figures in the Gulf and beyond. In the ever-evolving world of digital fashion, where trends rise and fall overnight, Jourial Ali has carved out a lane entirely her own, one built on confidence, creativity, and bold self-expression. She doesn't just wear clothes, she tells stories with every outfit. Her fashion sense is vibrant and fearless, blending elegance with a touch of rebellion. From sleek, body-hugging silhouettes to flowing dresses that move like poetry, she knows how to style her curves with pride, purpose, and presence. She's not following the rules, she's rewriting them. What makes her stand out isn't just what she wears, but how she wears it. She embraces her figure with a sense of grace that feels rare and refreshing. In a digital landscape that often filters out reality, Jourial Ali stands as a visual celebration of body confidence, redefining what it means to be fashionable, glamorous, and truly seen. Her makeup looks? Always polished. Always intentional. From soft glam to bold eyes, her face is her canvas, and she paints it with care. Her hair? Often styled in waves or sleek finishes, complementing every look with just the right edge. When it comes to locations, Jourial Ali is just as selective. She chooses spaces that enhance her aesthetic, whether it's urban rooftops, luxury settings, or minimalist backdrops that let her presence speak louder than the environment. Every shot feels curated yet natural, as if each moment was captured mid-story. She's not just modeling clothes, she's modeling confidence, especially for women who don't often see their body types represented in mainstream media. By being proudly plus-size and powerful, she sends a message louder than any trend. You don't have to shrink to be seen. You don't have to change to be admired. Through carefully crafted visuals and a deeply authentic vibe, Jourial Ali has become more than just a content creator. She's a style icon for a new generation, especially in the Arab world where voices like hers are only beginning to rise. Jourial Ali's rise to fame wasn't an accident, it was a masterclass in digital presence. In a world overflowing with content, she found a way to stand out, not by being louder, but by being sharper, braver, and more intentional than most. She understood early on that to build real influence, it's not just about what you post, it's how, when, and where you show up. She made Instagram her gallery. Every post is polished, high quality, and aesthetically consistent, a mix of bold fashion, artistic lighting, and poses that radiate confidence. There's a cinematic feel to her feed, where each image feels like a moment from a fashion film. She doesn't over-explain, she lets the visual speak for itself. On Snapchat, she switches gears. Here, she becomes more personal, more spontaneous, more her. It's where fans get a glimpse of her behind the scenes, the raw moments, the humor, the attitude. That contrast between polished and personal created a powerful bond with her audience. She's not just admired, she's followed with genuine curiosity. And then there's TikTok. The platform of energy, trends, and creativity. Jourial Ali doesn't try to copy others. Instead, she adapts trends to her vibe, maintaining her signature style while embracing what's current. Her content is playful yet empowering, always showcasing her as someone in control of her image. But perhaps the real secret behind her fame is something deeper. She doesn't try to please everyone. She knows her audience. She knows her lane. And she leans into it with full confidence. Through bold fashion choices, flawless visuals, and carefully timed appearances, she built not just a following, but a brand. A visual identity that's instantly recognizable, undeniably her, and impossible to ignore. Jourial Ali didn't just get lucky, she studied the game and played it her way. Every rising star has that one moment, the shift from being seen by a few, to being known by many. For Jourial Ali, that moment came in 2023, and it didn't arrive with a glamorous photo shoot or a viral dance. It came wrapped in rumors. Suddenly, her name was everywhere. Social media timelines lit up. WhatsApp groups buzzed. Her photos, and more importantly, her story, became the center of conversation across the Gulf and beyond. The talk? Controversial. Online whispers began to spread, unfounded claims, wild accusations, and viral speculation. Some said she had disappeared. Others claimed scandalous stories, none of them backed by proof. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of fading away, Jourial Ali's presence grew stronger. People who had never heard of her before now had to see who she was. Curious minds flocked to her pages. Followers surged. Her name became a trending topic. In a strange twist of fate, the very storm that was meant to break her, amplified her reach. And how did she respond? With grace and power. She didn't fuel the fire, she addressed it once, calmly, and made it clear that she wouldn't be defined by gossip. That move alone told the world, she's not just a face, she's a force. What was meant to be a setback became her launchpad. In that moment, Jourial Ali stopped being just an influencer. She became a story, a headline, a subject of public fascination. And while the rumors eventually faded, one thing remained. Her name. Her image. Her momentum. No public figure escapes the storm forever. And in Jourial Ali's case, the storm came hard, fast, and cruel. In late 2023, the internet exploded with whispers, ugly, personal, and dangerously speculative. Anonymous accounts and clickbait pages began spreading one of the most vicious rumors imaginable, that Jourial Ali was allegedly suffering from a serious illness and had been deported from Dubai. No evidence. No confirmation. Just digital wildfire. For many, it was just another piece of online drama. But for Jourial Ali, a woman who had built her entire brand on confidence and control, it was more than that. It was an attack not just on her image, but on her humanity. And yet, she didn't crumble. She didn't disappear. She stood up and spoke out. In a rare and powerful moment, Jourial Ali took to social media to confront the rumors head-on. Her message was calm but clear. She denied every claim, condemned the lies, and made one thing absolutely known. She would not tolerate defamation. And she was ready to take legal action against those who crossed the line. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal al-wakil, she wrote, a phrase heavy with faith and fury. She explained that her online absence had been short and personal, not the scandal people were inventing. The rumors, she said, were nothing more than baseless attempts to bring her down. And here's the twist. Instead of damaging her reputation, the incident strengthened her public image. It showed her audience, especially women, that she wasn't just beautiful and stylish, but also resilient, strong-willed, and unafraid to protect her name. The controversy became a turning point. A moment where Jourial Ali proved that behind the flawless photos and fashion-forward looks, there's a woman with a voice, a backbone, and boundaries. She didn't just survive the scandal. She owned it. She grew from it. She turned it into power. Scroll through Jourial Ali's feed for just a few seconds, and you'll feel it, a presence that's impossible to ignore. Not because of the clothes. Not because of the setting. But because of the undeniable self-confidence she radiates in every frame. She doesn't just appear in front of the camera, she owns it. Her posture, her gaze, the way she holds herself, it all sends one loud, unspoken message. I am enough. I am powerful. I deserve to be seen. For countless young women watching her, especially in regions where modesty often overshadows self-expression, Jourial Ali becomes more than just a model, she becomes a mirror of possibility. She shows them that beauty doesn't come in one shape, size, or style. It comes from knowing who you are, and choosing to shine anyway. She embraces her curves not as something to hide, but as something to highlight, a celebration, not a compromise. And in doing so, she challenges outdated standards and reclaims space in a world that often tells women to shrink themselves. Her message isn't wrapped in lectures or hashtags, it's visual, emotional, and intentional. Every photo says, you don't have to look like everyone else to be beautiful. Every video whispers, you don't need permission to be proud of who you are. That's why her audience keeps coming back. Not just for fashion. Not just for looks. But for the energy, that bold, feminine power that says. Confidence is not about perfection. It's about presence. And in Jourial Ali's world, being yourself, fearlessly, is the real definition of beauty. Because maybe, just maybe, the real masterpiece isn't a painting or a song. It's the persona she's building, bold, beautiful, and uniquely her. So, what makes Jourial Ali a name worth your attention? Why dedicate a full video on gorgeous models to her story, her style, her rise? It's not just the bold outfits. Not just the confident curves. Not even the headlines and drama that sometimes circle around her. It's the fact that she represents something bigger. She's a symbol of a shift happening right now, where women are redefining what beauty means, on their own terms. Where visibility and voice matter just as much as appearance. Where confidence is no longer limited to size 0, but extended to anyone bold enough to say, I'm here, and I'm not hiding. Jourial Ali has built more than just a following. She's created a conversation about identity, confidence, femininity, and freedom of expression. Some admire her. Some question her. Some can't stop watching her. And that, in itself, is powerful. She's not perfect, but maybe that's exactly what makes her so compelling. She's raw. She's unfiltered. She's real, in a way that makes you pause, scroll back, and think twice. And that's why this video exists. At Gorgeous Models, we go beyond the surface. We explore the stories, the impact, and the fire behind the faces lighting up your feeds. And Jourial Ali? She's not just part of that conversation. She's shaping it. So now, we ask you. What do you see when you look at her? A trend? A rebel? A rising icon? Or maybe a woman rewriting the rules, one post at a time?